Good evening. This is a live update. We're up on I-10 to the north of Perry, and we're watching the Hurricane Helene continue to track to the north-northeast. It's making some wobbles back to the northeast and then back north. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you there. And we're going to focus on this. So we got a lot of hot tires going on. Haven't had any recon. I know there's a recon plane in there now, and the sights are going down. But I haven't had no new bulletins from the Hurricane Center. But what's more interesting is really what's going on. You got a lot of power outages in the state of Florida, now 366,000, and that number is accelerating now as the damaging winds are coming on north. It's got a lot of radar, and watching the eyewall constrict now, continue to constrict, and it's getting compressed. It's about a 30-mile eyewall, but it's also trying to close off even tighter now. Very tight eyewall lifting to the north. It's jogged to the northeast over the last hour or two, northeast, and it's now not very far from the coastline now. It's about 60 miles, 40 to 60 miles from the coastline, and it's probably closer to about 50 miles roughly from Perry area. That's the 100-mile winds, and this is the outer eyewall, 60 miles there at Perry. But anyway, if we go to velocity area, we're going to see that the velocity winds are pretty extreme here, and they've been fluctuating a lot in the sense of how intense they are. We've seen some really high values. We've seen quite a few of 140 to 160 miles an hour. This is about 5,000, 6,000 feet. It's not surface, but you can see this big 150, 160 mile an hour winds. Tallahassee radar will go ahead like 155 knots in the northeast eyewall from the radar, but this is miles an hour, 150, 160 mile an hour winds. Again, not at the surface, but this tells you how extreme this northeast eyewall is, and also the eastern eyewall. If you go back down the southeast side of Tampa and we'll look back to the northwest, it's this data is, you can see it's pretty extreme data, right? But if you got white, the data is really extreme. I see what kind of numbers you got. It's 150. I mean, all the radars see about the same values, 100 to 150 in that northeast eyewall. Let's go back to Tallahassee, a lot of tornadoes. We're focused, we're trying to stay safe and stay out of the traffic and the areas. So the question is, the actual line right now, the hurricane is technically about roughly 15 miles east of the 5 o'clock advisory. And the reason we know that is I go over here to my Barron app and I look at the national radar and I look at the center line, and we go back down here. Let me go back to the radar here. Let me go back to high-res radar. And we'll look at this and get this back. Anyway, the radar, this center line, the actual center, the center is to the east of the sun, about 15 miles from the center line is basically what it shows. And so based on that, it looks like the center line, the center of the track, and it could come back on course, right? The center of the hurricane is supposed to track over Monticello. That was the 5 o'clock advisory. That's the center. And then we'd be about 15 miles east of that. Well, it may do that. And so what happens is the farther north it becomes, at some point, it probably quits jogging, makes these northeast jogs, and at some point it's going to start doing this. It's going to start coming north, and then once it crosses over, it comes ashore somewhere before it gets to the Georgia border, it's going to make more of a north, and then kind of do this, starts curving more northwest. So we're trying to stay more in the northeast eyewall. We want to be in this area here, but we want to do it safely. And the question is, does that go over Perry? Does it go south of Perry? Right now, it looks like it may go west of Perry. And so we're just going to watch and see how that transpires over the next hour or so. But I think obviously we got very high winds between Perry and the coastline coming up, and this thing continues to track to the northeast, and it's approaching the outer coastline right now. We're still seeing really intense bands. Obviously, we've got 70 mile an hour winds, 80 mile an hour winds coming into Perry, this north eyewall here, and if it does close off, if we can get this 50, 60, DBZs to totally close off here. I don't know if it's going to or not, it may not, but this entire northeast eyewall, northwest eyewall, this entire eyewall here is absolutely horrific, extreme destruction. It's about an hour and a half now. It's 9 o'clock Eastern time, 9:53 p.m. And it's about an hour, hour and a half before this extreme destructive winds comes on shore. And that's going to be, it could be the Perry, Salem area, and then on up to Perry, then on across to Crawford, and then along the I-10 corridor, right, up to Tallahassee, Madison, Monticello. And it looks like right now it could make it, the center line could be Monticello. It could also be over here at Madison. Maybe eastern side of Tallahassee gets in the western eyewall. It's just too early to say yet because it's making this stair step, and then the models all indicate it's going to snap, what we call snap. Trough's going to grab it, and it's going to grab it, and it's going to accelerate rapidly northwest at some point in the next 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And where does it snap out? I'm not sure yet, right? So you just got to kind of watch the radar. It's making these jogs, and at some point it might start moving north, and it might start doing this, right? At the last second, it's not going to hit Tallahassee. But anyway, you get the idea, right? It might do this, something like that. And that's kind of the track, essentially. So we're just going to watch it here. We're up on I-10. We can go east or west, and we'll see what's happened. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of damage as this thing continues to move north. Last heard half the hurricane hunters, I do know there's a hurricane hunter in there now. It's getting a little bit of data, but not a lot of data coming out of there. Looks like the Tropical Tidbits website, because I'm sure means that people are hitting it. It's going up and down. Like right now, it's crashed back. There's so many people inside Tropical Tidbits where you have real-time information for the hurricane hunter and all the tropical stuff. It keeps going down, right? And I'm sure it's because the servers are overwhelmed, right? They're just getting hammered. So anyway, I can't tell you what the hurricane hunter's finding in there. I know it was entering the eyewall about 10 to 15 minutes ago. Now there it comes back up again. It's going up and down. It looks like he crossed it, but I can't tell you. 943 was earlier, and it's got mixed data numbers here, so I can't tell you. There's 120. And again, I do not know what the pressure is. It looks like 120, 130, and that generally may even be 160 there. I can't read the numbers. Right in this northeast eyewall, 160, 160 knots. But anyway, it's, see, 940. It looks like he went all the way, the second pass, 940. There you go, Chris. Thank you, bud. 940. It's falling down. It's 135. Yeah, it's just almost 939 millibars. So it looks like it's kind of leveled off at 940 for right now. 135 mile an hour wind. So if it holds there for the next hour and a half, it's probably going to be a mid Cat 4. Maybe a high Cat 4. So if that's the latest, so Hurricane Hunter's just passed the eye, and it's holding right at 940, 939 in that range. So it may intensify another millibar or two, 938, 937, 938, 939, right in this general area, and then up there. It's going to go east. It looks like east of Tallahassee, probably near and west of Perry, and then on up here toward Monticello and the interstate, right? So this is the area. We're up here north right now, north of Perry. So, Monticello, this area, Perry, Monticello, this is the extreme destruction. Then Thomasville, Quentin, maybe as far east as Valdosta, you might get in some of the 100-mile-an-hour winds. But this area right here is going to be where it tracks, it looks like, right now. And I'm on I-10 right now, north of Perry, about 20 miles, 25 miles north of Perry here, northwest. So that's where we're holding up right now, and just waiting to see where this thing goes, right? And that's really about it. There's nothing too bad, but we know as that eyewall comes north, it's going to go from not too bad. Here comes the rain, the bands, the winds are going to increase. Look at all the lightning on the west side, man. If this thing just closes off, I mean, it's trying. If we can just get it to close off right here, look at this. This is just whole rift. This whole northwest, north central, northeast eyewalls is that's a wall of just destruction coming, heading toward the coastline. And wherever this eye comes north, that's where the massive damage is going to be. Right around that. Obviously, going to be damage outside of the center core, but you get the idea. That's it's a blow shit moment. So, me and Jeff, Gammons, and Sarah are just the I-10 bridge. There's not much up here. It's kind of a vacant area, so we're up here just holding. And hey, Jeff, he's not. Jeff, turn your overheads on, buddy. Your big headlights. So basically, when the Cat 4 gets here, it's we got overheads, but the thing is, we're probably going to have 50 feet visibility and horizontal debris flying. That's basically what I-35 is going to be. Bad coastal flooding in Tampa. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, so this, we got a lot of headlights, and so that's, it's going to go downhill pretty quick. The winds are picking up here. We're probably 35 to 40 right now. And so that's kind of the scene right now from I-10 right now. So we'll see how this plays out, but just want to give you guys a quick update. We'll try to bring you some data. I think we're hour, about another hour, probably closer to 10. It's 9 now, Eastern time, so probably about another hour. I think things will go down here really fast. So we're just about an hour away from things really getting crazy. 9:39. It's insane, yeah. And looks like I turned this one off. And now 9:39. So we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, Dell's in Perry, right? Yeah, the Dell team's in Perry, and we're just going to see how this plays out here. I'm going to look at a couple of things here, but yeah. So wow, that guy's going to be in trouble. Wow. Let me. I don't want to. Yeah. So we got people exiting the interstate. People with 18-wheelers, people with cars and trucks and vans. Let's see, that guy's pulled over. I'm gonna go over there, probably try to help this guy. I'm gonna go, hey, Jeff, where you went down? I'm gonna go tell that guy what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on. I'm gonna go tell him real quick. He's stopping. I'm gonna go tell him. So I've got a guy, he may know what's going on. He probably doesn't know what's going on. He knows it's raining. He's carrying he's calling a trailer, some kind of food, some kind of trailer. He stopped under the bridge, and this is going to be the worst area to be in, right? So I'm going to try to get him to either go east quickly right now because he's got time to get out of here. He's got an hour and a half. He can be well east of here, 40, 50 miles and into a headwind. And I'm just going to go talk this down. I'm not going to take the camera up to him and the water rig. Yeah, oh my gosh. For the hurricane. But anyway, let me go talk to him and just see if he understands what's getting ready to happen. I'll be right back. Okay, just got a bulletin. Hang on. What's going on here? Okay, I got extreme. I got it. Just stand by, guys. I've got an extreme. A minute, guys. Okay, there's so much happening here, right? Went and talked to her. She's planning on going to Ocala, way east of here. I explained to her what's coming. It's south of us, Cat 4. And that truck won't survive here. If you stay here under this bridge, we're going to roll. You're going to roll. The wind's going to be 140, 150 under this bridge. They'll accelerate, might even be 170 because the bridge is compressed the wind. It becomes massive wind tunnels besides what it's already going to be. So I said, you got an hour. I said, but get east as fast as you can, right, within reason. Get over east. And it's the farther east you go, the more you'll be out of the 140 to 150 winds. She's still probably going to be 90 to 100 over there, but she's not going to be in the 140 to 50 where you just have mass destruction, right? Because I don't want that vehicle to flip. She's by herself, very nice lady, and she's trying to go to Ocala. So I said, if you go now and get east, you'll be out of the worst. You're still going to have bad winds. I told her when the winds start getting really high out of the south, here we go. How big this is. This is where they expect it to come in. Okay. So this is going to be, as we talked about, here it comes, right? So let's go to what they said. We knew this was going to happen. All the ESA, all the alerts worked. So weather service here monitoring, the alerts went off here on the phones. This can be Dixie, Jefferson, Lafayette, Leon, Madison, Taylor, and Wakulla counties. NASA's Weather Service from Tallahassee, extreme high wind warning for Lafayette County, Big Bend, Florida. Northwestern Dixon County, Big Bend County, Big Bend. Jefferson County, Big Bend. Eastern Leon County, Big Bend. Madison County, Big Bend. Until midnight. 140 Cat 5, just under Cat 5. It's a high 4. Dangerous, life-threatening situation. I agree. Hurricane Helene will be moving onshore 30 miles southeast of Carabella, moving north at 35. Okay, hang on. It's got to probably make landfall. New update. Got it. I got it close with that. Starlink's been having problems all day with bandwidth issues. So I'm gonna get, okay, there we go. I'm out of the under the cell service, guys. It's extremely weak. I got like a half a bar on Verizon right now. Okay, so if we talk about the high winds are coming ashore, so if you're in a 2-story house, you need to take families with kids, families, anybody. You've got to move to the lowest floor now. Go into the bathroom, get pillows and blankets, and stay away from all outside walls. Get to the lowest stairs or under stairs. If you've got a basement, great. I don't think there's many basements down here, but get to the lowest floors. Again, stay away from the windows and doors. As this eye comes up, depending on, and this is going to be different for everybody, depends on where the eye tracks.
Hey, Jeff, did you take care of that guy?
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, just a minute. He doesn't know I'm streaming. Jeff doesn't know. Just a minute. Yeah, it was a lady, and she did know the hurricane was coming. She knows the wind, the rocking it, and she's going to Ocala, and she's going to go over to Lake City and drop south to Gainesville. And I said, just go now, and you'll be time before the extreme hurricane hits, right? So she had no idea it was going to hit here. She just didn't know. So anyway, she's on her way. She's going to move over there and then drop south on the interstate over toward Gainesville.
Perfect. Yeah, this is the best time. She still has time to get to Lake City and drop south before the worst. Here, she would have been rolled with that trailer she was towing.
Yeah, by the way, Jeff, I'm live on the stream. FYI, they've got a high wind warning out for us, extreme wind warning out for us now for the entire area here. If you saw it on the alert, I'm finishing my live feed here.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, the eyewall is just exploding eyewalls, guys. This is like just super crazy. There's so much bad stuff coming. It's kind of coming north. It's coming north. So anyway, as I said, get back to what's at hand. So if you're in a house, you're ever in a house, as I right now, this is approximate, the winds will be on this north eye wall. My winds are rocking now. I'm getting winds out of the east here, probably 50 miles an hour on I-10. My truck's rocking. The winds are out of the north here at probably 100 miles an hour on the western eye wall, okay? And on the north eye wall, the winds are going to be out of the east here at 100 miles an hour plus 120, 140. If you're over here, the winds are out of the south-southeast at 120 to gusts to 150, okay? Yeah, the eye wall. I've never seen this much lightning either, guys. So that's depending on where you live on this eye coming north, right? As this eye comes north, let's just say it does this, right? If you're in Tallahassee, you're going to probably have you'll have northeast and then north and northwest winds. Maybe 75, might be 100, right? But if you're in the north eye wall, if you're in Monticello, you'll start off at northeast, and then you'll snap around the northwest, and then hard out of the west if it passes over you or just east of you. If you're over here at Madison, you're probably going to start off with a screaming east wind, and then whip around a southeast wind, right? And then, so depending on exactly where you live, it's going to tell you which way the breeze is going to be flying, right? So again, get it to the lowest floor in your house, get the pillows and blankets, go to the bathtub now, anywhere along this area, Tallahassee eastward, over here to Live Oak, Mayo, Tallahatchie, Salem, Perry, Crawford, this entire area. Go to the center part of your house, first floor, get in the bathroom, the center part of the house, and the important thing is, when this thing passes or you get in the eye, do not go out in the eye when this thing goes overhead, because it's moving at 30 miles an hour. You'll only be in the eye probably less than 30 minutes, maybe as little as 15 minutes. It'll be calm. It'll be tempting to get out of the house. If your roof comes off or anything, to go check things out, don't do that. The back eye will come, and all the debris that's on the ground will go flying the other direction towards you. There'll be missile debris, extreme missile debris, because when all these buildings come down and you have roofs off and trees and power lines down, when the back eye switches back to the west wind at 120, 140 on this west wind, you'll have damage as it does that, damage there. And then as the eye passes you, the wind will come around and sweep at 100, and the debris will go back the other direction. So first the debris go that way, as the eye passes, it'll go northwest, and then it'll go back to the east, right? So do not go outside in the eye. It's extremely dangerous when you do that. And high likelihood you're going to be injured or killed. Just do not go out. Power lines, there's thousands of miles of power lines down with this eye wall. But this is the destructive eye wall. It looks like it's trying to pull almost due north. We'll see. It makes a little bitty wobbles. You can see it's fairly wide, but it's kind of still moving kind of northeast, and at some point it may just start accelerating due north, right? And we'll look at this velocity data, and we'll just kind of see it's still, it's really bad. It's going to be very close to Perry, and on the western sides of Perry. I mean, guys, this is just absurd. Tallahassee's seeing 170 mile an hour winds on the radar in this northeast eye wall. I don't know all the areas, 150, 160, 170. This is not at the surface. This is probably at about 4,000 to 5,000 feet. Let's look at the radar and go to Tallahassee, and that's over there. And I go over here to distance tool, and it locks onto the radar, and I go down here, and it tells me I'm at 5,000 feet. 5,800 feet, okay, to Tallahassee, to the northeast eye wall, where those winds are 160 miles at 6,000 feet. Let's take 10% off of that, 160. I've got 140 mile an hour winds at the surface, roughly. You take about 10% off. As this eye comes in, that 160 will be, you'll start seeing it will be at 3,000 feet, 2,000 feet, and God forbid it's any lower than that, it's just going to be mass destruction. It's going to be stay away from those areas. It looks like Kathy's now in the chat. Thank you, Catherine, for coming on board on the chat, because things are going to rapidly go downhill over the next hour and a half. We're again on I-10. Jeff Gammons, Jeff Petrosky, are on I-10 between Madison and Monticello. They've issued a high wind warning for these counties. This is where the northeast eye wall. Right now, the north eye wall looks like it's moving due north. It is a high. It is a high Cat 4, winds at 145, or maybe about 10 miles an hour from a Cat 5. Don't know if it'll make Cat 5. Probably won't, because we're only about an hour and a half from landfall. But where it's going to be a high Cat 4, which is still, it's bad. It's going to be extreme. And I expect catastrophic damage. And again, I told you 2 days ago, I told you last night, I told you this morning how bad it's going to be. No, everybody's texting me. No, I'm not. Just a minute. I'm getting flooded with text. Everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. No service. No, just no. No. So anyway, some people tell me if you see my stream. I see you guys. No video, okay? I can stop the stream and start it again, guys. I'll stop the stream and start it again. Sorry, I'm gonna stop it and come back to you. You can't see nothing. Okay, I'll stop the stream and come back to you guys. Let me see here.